Hi, everybody. Welcome to NAUI's Dive Team Report. I'm your host, Greg Martin. Today is Thanksgiving Day, and I wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on what I'm thankful for in the diving industry. I was one of those kids who always wanted to be a diver. From the early age of 3, I had a picture taken of myself in a scuba mask. I'm sure my father got it for me, and I wore it everywhere. I even tried to make a scuba tank out of a gourd growing on the neighbor's fence, without much success, obviously. Jacques Cousteau, Sea Hunt, those were the must-watch programs, and really anything to do with the oceans or shipwrecks, I would sit in front of the TV and watch. So it was with a lot of excitement to learn that during the summer of my high school year, a scuba class was being held in a town about an hour away. Well, the irony of this whole thing is that this was in the middle of the state of Kansas, in the middle of the United States, about as far away from the ocean as you can get. It was something I wanted, and as I look back at the last 40 years again, it bears saying that I'm really thankful for everyone who's helped me to get to this point. My basic scuba instruction was with NASDS, National Association of Skin Diving Schools, which of course doesn't exist anymore. And my instructor, Frank Patton, was number 10. Frank taught me to not only be a good diver, he also taught me to love the world that I was diving in. That scuba class was a tough one. Much more like the military training, and a far, far cry from a lot of the open water training courses or resort courses today, but I'm a much better diver because of it. Being underwater has always fascinated me. Watching small perch spawn in a small pond or holding hands with a giant octopus, it all just thrills me. Every time I step in the water, it's a new and exciting experience, and over the last few years, I've learned that I love to share that experience with others. Consequently, I became an instructor to be able to pass along the wisdom and love with my students, the same as my scuba instructor did to me. Now, I've learned a lot from all the instructors I've had over the years. Janelle, JR, Gene, David, Jim, thank you so much for sharing with me. And I learn a lot from my students as well. And I'd like to thank every one of them. Again, I hope they pick up even a fraction of the excitement and passion I bring to my classes. A big thanks goes to the support team at the certification agency and my friends at NAUI. I think all the certification agencies, and there are a lot of them worldwide, have their pluses and minuses, but NAUI just seems to have, in my humble opinion, the most consistent and rock-solid training of any. Divers coming out of any NAUI program just seem to be more competent and committed to diving than a lot of them. Of course, the folks at NAUI have supported yours truly throughout this last year, and of course, we're excited to see how 2017 shapes up here on the Dive Team Report. Over the last year, of course, I have hosted the NAUI Dive Team Report podcast. There have been some wonderful people on the program, all sharing their stories about why they are a part of this industry. I'd like to thank each and every one of them for giving me a few minutes of their valuable time to share and inspire. Everyone from diving legends like Zale Perry to the young divers just getting into the industry like NAUI course director Geertje Wessels. Everyone in the dive industry that I've approached to be on the program has been more than happy to spend a few minutes talking about this wonderful underwater world. So many people in what really is a fairly small industry, a very close-knit family that I've been welcomed into, and I say thank you for that. And not to forget you, the person on the other end who has listened to, shared, and commented on this program. Without you, there just, of course, wouldn't be a NAUI Dive Team Report. We're looking for more exciting programs for 2017, as well as looking for some sponsors to help us continue to share these important stories with the world. If you have a good story to tell or are interested in becoming a program supporter, please send a note. My email address is podcast@naui.org. That's podcast, podcast, @naui.org. So there we are. A lot for little old me to be thankful for on this Thanksgiving holiday. Next week, we'll have another great story to share on the NAUI Dive Team Report. I hope you'll subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, or YouTube. Just search for NAUI Dive Team Report. I'd like to leave you with a favorite poem of mine. It's not about divers per se, but it's one that I've always loved. It's called The Ocean by Nathaniel Hawthorne. The ocean has its silent caves, deep, quiet, and alone. Though there be fury on the waves, beneath them there is none. The awful spirits of the deep hold their communion there, and there are those for whom we weep, the young, the bright, the fair. Calmly the wearied seamen rest beneath their own blue sea. The ocean solitudes are blessed, for there is purity. The earth has guilt, the earth has care. Unquiet are its graves, but peaceful sleep is ever there beneath the dark blue waves. And that's it for this episode of NAUI's Dive Team Report. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm Greg Martin. Thanks for listening. I'll see you underwater.